Hello friends. Today's question is explain the law of constant change. See, the first thing to understand is that everything you know about is change, except for you, the knower. Everything is change. Have you seen anything which is not change? This whole world is a phenomenon of change. Even the Himalayas are changing. They say the scientists who work on it that they are growing. These Himalayas are the youngest mountains in the world. Still a child, like a child, you can say, really, still growing. They have not yet become mature. They have not reached to their point from where something begins to decline. They are still rising. If you compare them with Vidhyanchal, another mountain, they are just children. Vidhyanchal is one of the oldest, and some say the oldest mountains in the world. It is so old that it is decreasing, coming down. For centuries, it has been coming down, just dying in its old age. So even a Himalaya, which looks so stable, unchanging, unmoving, is changing. It is just a river of stones. Stones makes no difference. They are also like river like floating. Comparatively, everything is changing. Something looks more changing, something looks less changing, but that is only relative part. Nothing is unchanging that you can know. Remember my point. Nothing that you can know is unchanging. Nothing is unchanging except the knower. But that is always behind. It always knows. It is really never known. It can never become the object. It is always about the subject. Whatsoever you do or know, it is always behind. You cannot know it. See, when I say this, don't get disturbed. When I say that you cannot know it, I mean you cannot know it as an object. I can look at you. For example, I can look at you, but how can I look at myself in the same way? It is impossible because to be in a relationship of knowledge, two things are needed, the knower and the known. So when I look at you, you are the known and I am the knower, and the knowledge can exist as a bridge. But where to make the bridge when I look at myself, when I'm trying to know myself, there only I am alone, totally alone. The other bank is missing. So where to create that bridge? How to know myself? So they say self knowledge is a negative process. You cannot know yourself directly. You can simply go on eliminating objects of knowledge. Go on eliminating the objects of knowledge first. When there is no object of knowledge left out, when you cannot know anything, when there is nothing but the vacuum, the emptiness, and this is what meditation is, shunya, just eliminating all objects of knowledge, then a moment comes in your life when consciousness is, but there is nothing to be conscious of. Nothing to be knowing is, but there is nothing to be known. The simple, pure energy of knowing remains, and nothing is left to be known. There is no object left out. In that state, when there is nothing to be known, it is said that you know yourself in a certain sense. But that knowledge is totally different from all other knowledge. It is misleading to use the same word for both. There have been mystics who have said that self knowledge is contradictory. The very term is contradictory. Knowledge is always of the other. Self knowledge is not possible. But when the other is not, something happens. You may call it self knowledge, but the word is misleading. So, whatsoever you know is change. Everywhere, even these walls are constantly changing. Now, physics also support this. Even the wall, which looks so stationary, non-changing, is changing every moment. A great flux is on. Every atom is moving. Every electron is moving. Everything is moving fast, and the movement is so fast that you cannot detect it. That is why the wall looks so permanent. In the morning it was like this, in the afternoon it was like that, in the evening it was like this, yesterday it was like this, and tomorrow it will be like this. You look at it as if it is the same, but it is not. Your eyes are not capable of detecting such great movements. The fan is there. Another example you can take. The fan is there. If the fan is moving very fast, you will not be able to see the space. It will look like just one circle. Space cannot be seen because the movement is so fast, and the movement is so fast, just as fast as electrons are moving. You will not see that fan is moving at all. You will not be able to detect the movement. The fan will look stationary. You will even be able to touch it. It will be stationary, and your hand will not be able to enter into the gaps because your hand cannot move so fast as to go into that gaps. So before you move, another blade will have to come. Before you move, still another blade will have come. You will always touch the blade, and the movement will be so fast that the fan will look like it is non-moving. So things that are non-moving are very fast moving. That is why there is the appearance that they are stationary. So, my friends, whatever you see, feel, everything keeps changing with respect to time. It's only relative that some things are changing at a faster pace, some things are changing at a lower pace.